All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming, and it's time in our vanilla Java payroll program to start on the main.java file. Okay, I'm going to close what I have open here. Was playing with it and got rid of a bunch of the warnings and stuff that were in here. And for main, I had some comments at the top, and let's look at it. This is the front end of our app. It builds the window, including the UI the user interacts with. So what does the program do? The user picks an employee type from the associated drop-down list. Based on what they pick, a different set of input fields appears. All right, this will be handled using a swing card layout. The user fills in the fields for the chosen type and clicks the calculate button. But then the program has to come in and validate each field. It's basically three validations. Number one, was there anything there to begin with? Number two, was it a numeric field? And number three, does it fall within the associated allowable range? As an example, if it's an hourly employee, all right, we're looking at hours worked and hourly rate. Are they both numeric? Are they both, are they there? Are they numeric? And for the hours worked, is it between 0 and 84? And for the hourly rate, is it between 0 and 99.99? If all those tests pass, we compute the gross pay. And it's similar. The only one really, for salary is it between 0 and 100,000? And if it is, boom, the salary is the gross pay. There's no calculation. All right. Every successful calculation adds, really I shouldn't say adds to a set of accumulators, but it'll add to one of the accumulators, the one for that type. Plus, it'll add that to the grand total. The grand total persists as long as the program keeps running. In other words, if you click the clear button, it doesn't go away. All right, so clicking the Show Totals button will open up a small pop-up dialog box that'll display the current accumulator totals, and clicking Clear will reset the form back, but again, it will not reset the accumulators. All right, so let's get going here. Let's start with our import statements. There's no way I'm going to finish this tonight, just so you know, but I'll just do a couple of them probably. So first, let's import, not import, but import javax.swing.star, and that'll allow us to bring in our core GUI stuff. Next, we've got import javax.swing.border.empty border. And for that one, it's going to allow us to do that. Create an empty border. Looks like here I should have put a semicolon. I put a colon in there. Yeah, it looks a little better. Next, we will import java.awt.star, and that will bring in the abstract window toolkit, which is going to work in conjunction with Swing. Next, we will import java.awt.event.actionEvent. And that will basically, for lack of better words, will handle the button clicks. All right. In a nutshell, that's what's going on here. A couple more. We're going to import java.text.numberFormat, again for numeric formatting. Kind of obvious from the name. Finally, we will import java.util.locale. And basically that'll be to use the USD, US dollar. All right, what doesn't it like here? It says the import java.util.locale cannot be java.util. Oh, it's a capital L, I believe. That's a little better. All right, now we're getting underlines on all those, but it's the reason we're getting the underlines is because we're not using them yet. So we're going to start using them shortly. And you may or may not have noticed, but up here, I have errors in the program, but anywhere it's green, it's a warning. And if it's red, it's an error. Okay, so it's given me 9 warnings in this program so far. All right, so let's public class main extends JFrame. All right. So we're going to have a card layout. This will, for lack of better words, will be a special card layout when nothing has been selected yet. So we'll have private static final string card blank equals blank. And again, we could have taken that and put it up above, had it up here just as well. Okay, I'm going to leave it where it is. All right, next, we're going to have a constant that will track the state. In this case, it'll be the running totals of the accumulators. So that'll be private final payroll state equals new payroll state. Again, that's going to end up calling the payroll state that is right there. Okay? All right. Next, we're going to have a currency formatter for US dollars, not UR dollars. So private final number format. We'll just call it what it is, which is a currency format. And we'll set that equal to, let's put it on a new line here, number format dot get currency instance of locale.us. Okay? All right. Notice that number format is not underlined anymore because we are using it now. And that's locale with an E. There we go. And I spell currency wrong. There we go. Next, let's create a drop-down list it's going to be our employee types. So private final J combo box of employee type We'll call it employee type combo. How's that? And that's going to be equal to a new J combo box of employee type dot values. Okay. All right. I'm not sure why. Well, probably getting part of that error is from here. It's giving me errors here. Let's see if we can figure them out. J combo box cannot be resolved to a type. Well, I think it's right, so we're just going to go on for now. Next, we'll have our fields. So we'll first put in our hourly fields, and I'm going to put those in just a second. Then our piece worker fields. And then we'll put in our commission fields. Finally, we'll put in our salaried fields. Okay, so let's start with our hourly fields. Private, final, J text field, and it'll be hours worked. Let's call it hours worked field. And that'll be equal to a new J text field. All right, we'll also have private, final, J text field, hourly rate field equals new J text field. All right, next we've got our piece worker. So private, final, J text field, pieces made field, and that'll be equal to new J text field, and private final J text field price per piece field. So I'll have to move these over. That'll again be equal to a new J text field. All right, we've got our commission fields, private final J text field, and then we'll call sales amount field. Again, oops, spell it right, Jeff. And that's going to be equal to a new J text field, and private final J text field commission percent. Let's just call it commission PCT field equals new J text field. Okay. Finally, we've got our salaried. There's only one private final J text. Oh, hello. Private final J text field and it'll be salary field, and again that's equal to a new J text field. Okay, so that's all done. Now next we're going to create a card layout. A card layout is a special kind of a layout manager that stacks cards kind of, each one is going to be a regular component on top of each other in the same space, but only shows one of them at a time. So when you think about it, in a way at least, it's going to be very similar to what we saw here. All right. And again, what I mean is that we'll have the same area, but it'll be one of four things that'll be held in that area. So private final card layout, and dynamic field, dynamic field layout equals new card layout. Whoops. Don't know how I got that. Well, I do, but okay. And private final J panel, and that will be dynamic fields panel. And that'll be equal to a new J panel with the one we just put in here, dynamic fields layout. Okay. Next, we'll have a label that'll be shared to display validation error messages. Again, the idea here is rather than having a label for each one, so, you know, two labels here, two labels here, two labels here, and one label here. So rather than having 7, we're just going to have one label. For right now, we'll just put a blank in there. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to set up the results panel. And again, let's put this on a new line. We'll go over this in more depth, but just not right now. Change it so we can read it a little better. All right. Then we need the list of an individual result, the cards that'll get added. So we'll have a wrapper panel that'll hold both the placeholder message and the list of result cards. Not that big a thing here, but let's kind of pretty it up just a tad. All right. And for time, I am at 21 minutes. So this is a good place to stop. So next, we're going to put in our this should go over here. So next, we're going to put in our public main. So in other words, our constructor. And this is going to run. Yeah, we'll do this. It's not real big, just a few lines. It'll run once every time a new main object is created. All right, let's set up the Windows basic properties. Okay, so super, and we will again call this payroll application. How about Java payroll application? Trying to figure out why I'm getting the errors here. So let's see. Ding. Ding. Why would it want me to give me a syntax error there? Something's goofed up. We'll have to look at it. All right. Set default close. We've been doing this every time. Default close operation to JFrame dot exit on close, which again is just saying that when we're done, we want to close everything. JPanel content equals build main content. We're going to do that in the next video. We're going to set the content pane with our content. We're going to set the size we're setting a fixed size 920 by 640. And finally, we're going to center the window on the user screen. All right, that's a good place to leave it right here. I'm going to see if I can figure out what the goofy error is here. Come back and start with that next time, and then we're going to continue on. See you soon.